The Legend of Zelda series has inspired countless other game franchises through its 34+ year history. Its 3D games pioneered the Z targeting system for locking onto enemies, which was used in most third-person action games since 1997's Ocarina of Time. More recently, with Breath of the Wild, it revolutionized what an open-world game can be, potentially changing the world of adventure games and others for the foreseeable future. Its classic 2D games were also influential to the rest of the gaming industry. The original Legend of Zelda on the NES showed what non-linear gameplay could be like, and inspired generations of gamers to seek out other adventures. Thankfully, Zelda is still inspiring new releases today, especially in the indie gaming scene. One such game is Swords of Ditto, a top-down action-adventure game where you must travel the world in order to defeat the evil witch Mormo. The game brings in some great ideas of its own and combines the action-adventure of Zelda with the punishing mechanics of roguelike games, coming together to make an excellent, replayable adventure. This is why you should play Swords of Ditto. Swords of Ditto caught my eye on Steam a few months ago. I kept thinking to get it, but I was determined to hold out for a Switch version. It had been out for pretty much a year, and no announcement of a Switch version seemed to be coming. So I thought, hey, it's on sale, let's pick it up. Son of a... Oh well. Anyway, only minor regrets, as this is one of the best indie games I have ever had the pleasure to play. It's a Zelda roguelike with randomly generated worlds. You play as the titular hero, working your way through dungeons, caves, and dozens of enemies in order to power up your sword and collect different items, in order to take down the evil witch Mormo. What makes it so interesting though is its unique twist. If you die, the world is ruled by the evil witch Mormo until another hero is born 100 years later. Over the 100 years, the map will be generated again, area names will change, other people will appear, and the world will become generally a bit more dangerous and apocalyptic. The graveyard, for example, seemed to expand and become more eerie with every death. To top it off, the evil witch will become more powerful, and so will the enemies around the world. This randomly generated world makes the game interesting to replay, and it doesn't even take restarting the game to get a new experience. Dying in Swords of Ditto is kind of horrible, but also thrilling as you don't know how the world will change, how difficult the game will become, and many other aspects. I feel this is one of the most interesting game mechanics I have seen in a long time. Games in the last couple of generations, dying was a minor annoyance, pushing you back maybe a few minutes to the nearest checkpoint. In Swords of Ditto though, it literally affects the whole game, and can take you from 5 minutes from the end of the game to almost back to the beginning. Dungeons reset, you can lose all of your items, and since the map changes too, all of the dungeons move around and change as well, meaning you have to seek them out again to complete them. Thankfully, when you die, your sword stays powered up. As you fight enemies with Zelda-style single-button sword swings, damn that was difficult to say, and complete quests, your sword levels up in the traditional RPG style, and each time you do, you are reminded of Mormo's power. For example, for me, she started off at level 5. I died a few times, moving on to new heroes and hundreds of years later, and then she ended up at level 13. This progression of enemies' power, as well as your own, is a constant battle, and even when I did surpass her power, I still couldn't figure out how to hurt her in the final battle, and died again. Making her even more powerful for the next hero a century later, and all of the surrounding enemies in the open world. Allowing you to keep the level of your sword means that although death takes a lot away, it doesn't take everything, giving you the drive to do better next time in order to defeat Mormo, without making it feel like you accomplished nothing on your last playthrough, which personally I feel happens a lot in other roguelike games, where death means you have lost all progression. Like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, you could skip all the dungeons and head straight for the big baddie herself. However, good luck, because this game is brutal in its difficulty. You must fight your way through a large dungeon full of powerful enemies, including past heroes that have turned evil, in order to reach Mormo. So by the time you reach her, you may have already lost all of your recovery items and struggle to survive for even a few minutes, like I did. If you instead search around the world for the hidden dungeons containing Mormo's anchors, these are large stones that give her more power, you will have a much better chance. On my first attempt to take her down, I destroyed one stone. I then took her on and literally couldn't put a scratch on her. I didn't want to go fight her, but the game's other mechanic, an in-game day time limit, came into play and forced me. I played on hard mode, which gives you a 3-day, 12 minutes each time limit in order to power up as much as possible, gain toys, and destroy the anchors. Each of these goes hand in hand, so if it sounds like a lot, don't worry. Also, when you're in the main town, a dungeon, or a cave, time does not pass, so it's 36 minutes of exploring the overworld more than doing key tasks. To top it off, there is also ways to extend the days, although personally I didn't try doing this. And if you really are struggling, you can play on easy or normal to get more days. At the end of your several day time limit, depending on your difficulty mode, you are forced to go fight Mormo. This gives a good sense of urgency to the game, while the colourful and interesting world make it compelling to search, so you become a little bit conflicted as to what you want to do. Another exciting thing that happens when you die, yeah, I know that's a weird statement, just stick with me, is you get to pick a new hero. As you play through the adventure, you come across character badges. Each one is a different hero, a different species, with different abilities. So far I've seen humans, robots, frogs, rabbits, and my favourite, cats, who even meow when you dodge roll, which is just damn adorable. These different heroes start with different stickers, which give you different abilities. These stickers can give you extra health, attack power, defense, luck, and more. These aren't the only stickers in the game as well. There are dozens more throughout the game that you can obtain by defeating enemies, exploring caves and dungeons, and by purchasing from the town store Lick's Sticker Shack, ran by this friendly frog guy. One of the most useful I have found is the target sticker, which shows you the location of the 4 dungeons. 2 toy dungeons, which you need to defeat in order to get access to the 2 anchor dungeons. The toys are completely optional to defeating Mormo, but are a big help. I am not sure how many there are in total, but I personally found or purchased the spiky yo-yo, the bow and arrow, a laser ring, a drone, a machine nerf gun that sets enemies on fire, yeah, it's as cool as it sounds, and a few others, all of which were useful for taking down enemies, and the ones specifically gained from toy dungeons were vital in completing the anchor dungeons. I felt this was a great way to introduce non-essential items into an open world game. You don't have to get these items, but if you do, it allows you to complete dungeons that will help you take down Mormo, so seeking them out is rewarding and gives you a fun new way to attack enemies. Zelda Breath of the Wild had no items like this, and because of it, combat felt a bit basic, and a key element of the past Zelda games was missing. Nintendo could definitely learn from this form of item usage in order to add more options to the next open world Zelda. Before I go into spoiler territory, I will talk about what is probably abundantly clear already. This game just looks amazing. It's like Adventure Time meets Zelda. Tons of colourful areas, enemies and characters, giant penguins, frogs, knights and more. The game is beautiful and really helped sell me on the game when I first saw it. The animations are sharp and fluid, and every friend and foe alike have tons of character. Top off these beautiful visuals with a great soundtrack to boot, which heavily features the world's greatest instrument, the mighty kazoo, which is used also for fast travelling. Overall, the presentation is just fantastic, and there is such a range of environments, such as forests, deserts, and zombie-infested cities. Even the controls are wonderfully fluid and responsive, with extra attack moves and skills to learn as you level up. There are many more aspects to the game, but you really should discover them for yourself. There is a lot to discover here, and part of the fun is finding it on your own. There is one thing though that I would like to discuss that I would deem a spoiler, so turn away now if you don't want it spoiled, or skip to this time code. Ready? Okay. So, after several tries, several hundred years, and several heroes, I finally defeated Mormo. Huzzah! The world is saved thanks to the mighty cat hero. Once Mormo was defeated, everything was very anticlimactic, I'm afraid. The game just jumped forward 100 years again, and once more, Mormo is back. It all seemed a bit meh, just an endless cycle, I didn't play it for a little while after finding this out. I soon found out though that there is a true ending. One where you break Mormos Curse and stop her from returning for good. Turns out every time you defeat Mormo, you collect a token, and on your next go around, you need to offer up this token to a special shrine hidden in the game. You then repeat this 5 times in total, which would equal 500 years, and Mormo will finally reveal her true form. I haven't done this yet, but I can't wait to do so. I want to see how the world changes and how difficult it can get. What's interesting as well is if you lose to Mormo, the world takes a turn for the worst, with a darker theme and more dangerous world. If you win though, the world is much more colourful and bright. A statue is placed of the previous hero who won in the town centre for you to claim the sword, rather than you having to claim it from a gravestone in the graveyard if you fail. This is a great aspect of detail to the game, and would suit the Legend of Zelda series. If you skipped over the spoilers, welcome back. Perhaps the developers Onebitbeyond could collaborate with Nintendo on a more indie-style Zelda in future, a bit like the Cadence of Hyrule game coming out soon. Overall, Swords of Ditto is a fantastic replayable game that I have had loads of fun with already and can't wait for more. I've barely mentioned half of what is on offer with this game, and I haven't even mentioned one of its best features yet: full local co-op for the whole game. I'll be covering this in the next month or so with my partner Jess in another co-op cast. There will be a link at the end of this video when that is ready, or subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified. Halfway through playing the game for the video, it also got a massive update, Mormos Curse, which added tons of content, which I'm yet to discover. It's a shame this game has gotten some less than stellar reviews, as it deserves a lot more praise than it gets. I'd recommend it to anyone who enjoys roguelike or adventure games, and especially for anyone who loves the Legend of Zelda series. Pick it up on Switch though, because damn it, this game would be perfect on portable, and I wish I waited and got it on that instead. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Phil, I was the creator of this video. If you enjoyed the video, please like, leave a comment and subscribe to the Pixel Tavern for a new video every month. If you want to be notified each time there is a new video, click the bell icon to get a notification. This really helps me to grow the channel and allow me to make more videos. If you'd like to check out my Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, there is a link in the description below. As always, if you'd like to see more, there is more of my videos on screen now. Till the next video everybody, thank you very much for watching.